Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With that, it's time for Super Bowl 54, and we'll send you now to Miami, standing by to call their fourth Super Bowl together. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, the road ends here. It has been a wild, often unpredictable 2019 season, and now it's time for the greatest spectacle in all of sports. Super Bowl 54 from Miami. You know, this town has played host to 10 Super Bowls in the past, and tonight we write chapter number 11. And what a matchup we've got. Tonight it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs taking on the champions from the NFC, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And Charles, many had ordained the Kansas City Chiefs to be the best team in the NFL coming into the season, and now here they are, one game away from their first Super Bowl title since Super Bowl IV 50 years ago.
And we'll get to that in just a minute, but how about this? This is their fifth straight playoff appearance. They went to overtime with New England in the AFC title game last year. Remember, they were down big at the half, came all the way back and had a chance to win, lost in overtime. Finally climbed that mountain and got back. And do you remember Super Bowl IV against Minnesota? Remember Hank Stram as their coach? On the sidelines, mic'd up for the first time. That really gave us a lot of what we have now with NFL films. What a terrific performance by that Kansas City team, and they blew away the Vikings in that game.
Meanwhile, the Buccaneers are back in the Super Bowl for just the second time in franchise history. I know one thing, they'd love a repeat of that first appearance.
Would they ever? That was 2003 in San Diego, and it was Super Bowl 37. They were the underdogs coming in against the Oakland Raiders, and they flogged the Raiders in that game, 48-21. You know what I remember most about that? John Gruden was the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but he'd previously been the head coach of the Oakland Raiders. And during practice leading up to the game, he would play scout team quarterback and tell the defense all the characteristics and mannerisms of the Raiders quarterback, Rich Gannon, and had his defense totally prepared. And boy, did they play well and won their first Super Bowl title.
The first Super Bowl of the new decade, Super Bowl 54, is underway. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. Now they're led out by a guy who's done just about everything you could ever imagine to do in this league, the great Tom Brady.
It's been a lot of fun watching him develop in his career, but that will to win, he's had that probably since birth, and it transmits itself throughout his entire ball club. Watching him play, it can be an absolute joy unless you're on the other team.
So first and 10 now from the 30. Here's Brady to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Brady. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there?
Yeah.
Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing? He was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Wow, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he's gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal second. That would have been fun to watch.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 26-yard line. They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Dorian O'Daniel, 3rd-round pick in 2018, made the tackle. And let's take a look at the defensive starters for Kansas City.
Tyrann Mathieu's instincts as a defensive back, I believe, are second to none. And that allows him to play all over the secondary. He can line up as an outside corner, inside in the slot, and that's difficult to do because you get so much traffic in there. And then, of course, they can also move him back as a safety. Anywhere you put him, though, you know he's going to end up around the football.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive.
Brandon, this is the Super Bowl. A touchdown scored in any game is big. In this one, it's massive.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Patrick Mahomes leading out the Chiefs. They, of course, were so close to a trip to Atlanta a year ago. Losers in overtime of the AFC title game. They made it a point that they were going to get back this year, and Mahomes, the 2018 MVP, he has followed through, getting KC to the Super Bowl in his 3rd NFL season. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs on 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Let's go, defense!
They go play fake. Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs or putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Fight on these two. I'm the Willie.
Now on 2nd and 13, Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. And quickly now, a look at the Kansas City offense.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs, because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 23.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Under 10.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Working from the gun, Mahomes. He's got his man. That's Hardman. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage, but now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, it has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back.
I got you, punk.
They'll run it with Williams. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
On 2nd and goal, standing alone in the backfield is Williams. He'll get it up the middle, and he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Damian Williams taking it in as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And in the end, it was all capped off by the Damian Williams touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Wait, set. Round 80. Round 80.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now a first down carry by Jones. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Shotgun now for Brady. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, 66.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
I got you. Check 50.
On the delay, Jones. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Now Brady. He's got Evans. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Brady's got his guys 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Now Jones. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, it's Brady. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
A short gain that doesn't get him the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So on 4th down, on comes the Buccaneer kicker, Matt Gay. From the right hash, this from 33. Gay's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now here's Mahomes. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a
story.
Long night.
Yellow, yellow. 180.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 7, Mahomes completes it to Hardman. 7 yards there and a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Yellow.
Mahomes now on first down. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it with Williams. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. (10-7) our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Mahomes now to throw. He is going to find Hill here. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 6 of his throws on this drive. Mahomes going to fire this out wide to Hill. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll get nothing out of that one. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. This will be, 38 yards out. And the kick by Butker is good. And that will knot us up at 10. That will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny, we had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Wait, set. Wait, 20.
Mike 50, Mike 50.
Wait, 28.
Throwing on 1st down is Brady. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. The throw on 2nd down by Brady is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, it's Brady. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vita Vea breaking through to get the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now Mahomes. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett, his 2nd sack of the night.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Brady now on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Brady. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down.
good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup. Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. This is Jones. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Brady. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Brady now on first down. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Brady now to throw. Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 7-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to regain the lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Extra point by Gay is up and good, and that makes it a 17-10 score. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Set to take over, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to it.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Check back.
Mahomes going to throw, and this is caught by Watkins. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 42. Mahomes now 15 out of 17 through the air, only 2 incompletions. It's first down. Throwing now is Mahomes. That's caught over the middle by Seals-Jones. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Fight on these two. Fight on these two.
D-line, get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes looking for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And he finds Seals-Jones complete. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Yellow.
Check 45 to the line. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
I don't think you got it, son. Kill.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Shaquille Barrett bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
And that's his 3rd sack, and that ties a Super Bowl record. Makes me think of my old college teammate, Reggie White. He had 3 with the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31. Darnell Dockett of Arizona, Super Bowl 43. And Coney Ealy. 3 sacks for the Panthers against Denver in Super Bowl 50.
All those sacks, they've only been an official record since Super Bowl 17. I know it's believed that L.C. Greenwood unofficially had 4 way back in Super Bowl 10.
Wearing those golden high tops as well.
Butker's kick here is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter.
Wait, set. Wait, Eddie.
Nice 50, nice 50. Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
Let's go.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. To throw, it's Brady. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin. And it's third and short.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away.
The Bucs on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Play action. Now it's Brady. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. The sack comes from Anthony Hitchens.
Seems to me that our friend, Old Momentum, I think he's definitely changed teams in this game.
It's only going to grow after that sack, and now, heck, they can get the ball back here and possibly even get the lead. Here's Bradley Pena now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. They'll swing this complete out to Hill. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Well, they completed the pass but lost yardage, so they'll decline the penalty.
Perfect play for them, isn't it? Who needs a penalty when you try and throw the ball, you don't even get it downfield, and they go ahead and snuff out the play. They'll take that as a result.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Two minutes even on the clock in the first half of Super Bowl 54. A reminder coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. To throw, it's Mahomes. They complete it to Hill.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Mahomes used to moving quickly in college, trying to get his guys to the line. Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes, pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. The 305-pound Ndamukong Suh finding the path to the QB there. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And a good result there, as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here, as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Wait, 20!
44. Record.
Shadow!
On first down, Brady. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Brady now, 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down. Now Brady. He completes it to Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one.
Wait, 180!
We go. Strong left.
Rip!
On first and 10, here's Brady. He finds his target, it's Evans. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Chewing up big yardage, another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete.
everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Again, it's Brady. He completes it to Evans. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Brady closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And Gay knocks this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10.
Here we go.
So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The never-tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs' offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now here's Mahomes. Mahomes hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Mahomes now to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on third down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Well, that's how you convert on third down with an explosive gain of 34.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Yeah, every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. Now Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Check 26, check 26.
Mahomes now on first down. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Shaquille Barrett make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. And Butker able to put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these threes into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. On play action, it's Brady. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wait, 10. Wait, 20. Mike 50.
And watch the leg.
Brady now on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. Nice pickup for a first down.
And Brady's throw there, incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Right here, right here.
To throw again, Brady. And he finds Howard complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the first down.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first.
I got you.
Brady to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to wrap.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a line. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. The 20, 10. And that's the obvious risk you run with a long field goal, lower trajectory, greater chance of having it blocked like it was.
And a lot more pressure on your protection team because, as you noted, longer field goal, it's going to come out a little bit lower. So that means you got to get those hands down and out of the lanes. That didn't happen.
Great job picking it up and giving them great field position. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown from 6 yards away. And the Chiefs are going to jump back in front. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. The point after is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
Wait, set. Alabama, 380.
Here we go.
Hey, 66.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Sugar!
To throw is Brady. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Shotgun now for Brady. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. He is looking to help his team build their lead after trailing at halftime. They've got to like the spot they're in right now.
They have to love it, but as you and I both know, cliche alert coming here. You're only as good as your last possession.
Yeah.
But I think that they like, as you said, the spot they're in and how confidently they're playing at this point.
But again, just a one-possession lead, looking to expand that now. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Mahomes to throw. Completes it to Hardman. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Throwing now is Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Hey, fight on these two. Fight on these two. Come on, let's go.
On 2nd down, Williams. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. They go play action. Now Mahomes. This is caught. Watkins. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Working from the gun, Mahomes. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. William Golston in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So out comes the field goal team once more. And the kick by Butker is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Brady. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Looking downfield for Godwin. It's caught inside the 25.
We got this.
One quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Throwing now is Brady. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. One back in the game, that's Jones, 2nd and goal.
I'm going back to you.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl, as his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that 3rd touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
Now the biggest extra point of this man's life. And it is good, and his guys have taken the lead in the 4th quarter of this Super Bowl. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Sammy Watkins and the rest of the offense getting set to go again. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation, the catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now here's Mahomes. Finding Hardman here over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Mahomes to throw once more. And this is caught by Watkins. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play. Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. A give to Williams, running right. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Williams. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down.
Big stop, G. Big stop.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for a 4th quarter lead. Butker's kick here is good. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
So out come the Bucs now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On first down, Brady. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. The throw on second down by Brady is incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Bradley Pena now. He's been terrific so far. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Mahomes firing complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. He felt the pressure coming there. That was a good job of just making something out of nothing, so to speak.
Yeah, took the hit and still made the play. You know, when we talk about runners, all right, and on running plays, runs after contact, we call that getting dirty yards, tough, gritty ones. To me, that's like the version of a dirty pass. He knows he's going to get smacked, yet still delivers the football and picks up good yardage.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing quickly, Mahomes gets this out to Watkins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 19.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Yellow. I'll go Wolverine.
Watch the curve. Watch the curve. Quick dash. Quick dash.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Fight on these two. Fight on these two. I'll go Wolverine.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'd be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And he'll be brought down shy of the first down marker at the 11. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
So a big one coming now for Harrison Butker. And Butker able to put this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed him out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Hey, 10, 29, Alpha. He's telling you.
Brady now on first down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Oh, he's got a little daylight. called that a very strong gain of 24.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Wait, set, wait, Eddie!
Mike, 44. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there, man.
When he hit!
44 to Mike, 44.
Hey, take it!
Brady now on first down. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack.
They can't stop us. They cannot hold us.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Brady now to throw, and this is caught by Evans. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. The Bucs on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is third down and 12. Shotgun now for Brady. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up fourth down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up fourth down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a first down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
And out come the Chiefs now. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Mahomes to throw. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that type of a number. Fantastic job, fantastic performance, and he's going to have to ice up his arm afterwards, too.
Mahomes going to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. The clock showing 2 minutes even in what's been a memorable Super Bowl 54. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. It's Kelsey on the ground. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And that one will skip out of bounds as the linesman will mark this thing right at the 15-yard line. Tom Brady in the offense. Down by 5. 1:50 to play. A touchdown could win the Super Bowl as they've got a first down.
Wait, set, wide, 20.
Mike Bobo.
I'm trying to collect.
He'll look to throw. He's got the hook up to Miller. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Tight down. There you go.
They'll look to throw. He finds his target. It's Evans. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Wait, set, green 80.
50, Mike 50, huh? You got nothing today. You got nothing.
When he hit.
Now Brady. He's got Evans. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Buccaneer first to pick up of 12 yards. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it. But they've got to continue to move quickly.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. To throw is Brady. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Mike 50, Mike 50, Mike 50. It's just me and you. Shadow.
Brady to throw. He completes it to Evans. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That's good for a Buccaneer first to pick up of 12 yards.
Partner, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
Clock running. The Bucs try to go quickly and get set.
Hey, goal 66.
Back to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
So what can Brady do here is he'll lead his guys up to go for 2. They'll try and run it here. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. So they're unable to stretch it to a 3-point lead. Now you got to be careful on the kickoff because a field goal obviously beats you.
Definitely, and that's why they went for 2. They wanted to make sure a field goal wouldn't beat them. Now they're in a position where they've got to cover well and make sure they don't get into range and put one through the posts.
throwing the touchdown. Here's Gay to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Okay, baby, let's go. Let's go.
We get a glance at the Buccaneer defense as they file into position. And everything's going to rest on this drive. Can they keep them out of field goal range, because a field goal would win it?
So now you're in that position of you can't just back off and give them easy throws. At the same time, you don't want to press them so hard they go over the top and beat you deep. So you're playing a tight defense with an idea that you have the lead. Whatever you do, don't let them in the field goal range and give that up.
So maybe tight but not too tight, right?
Exactly. I mean, it's perfect, right? It's kind of like lacing up your shoes. Get it exactly right and no more.
See if they lace them right. He's back to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Three receivers head out right, one to the left on 2nd and 3.
Watch the slip. Watch the slip.
One final try from Mahomes. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have won the Super Bowl, and they will hoist the Lombardi Trophy to cap an amazing season. For the victors getting to hoist that Lombardi Trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.